وعجل فرجه الشريف.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Almighty Allah has granted certain prophets and messengers of Allah a particular law or book. We can talk of Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Isa, Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Dawood, and so on and so forth. These messengers and prophets of Allah were endowed with Sharia, that is book or law. It is this particular law that Imam Hussein came to protect. And then one cannot talk about Abdullah Hussein or the personality of Imam Hussein without necessarily knowing who Imam Hussein was. So Prophet Muhammad, in order to know Imam Hussein, or one of the ways of knowing Imam Hussein is through Hadith Sakalain, where Prophet Muhammad made a categorical way that he left his ummah or his community only two weighty things: the book of Allah and then his Ahlul Bayt. And then he even went further to caution that I cautioned you 3 times about my Ahlul Bayt, Uzakirukumullah fi Ahlul Bayt, Uzakirukumullah 3 times, meaning that something was about to happen, and then the Holy Prophet had already given a prior caution for the people to be aware and then to be careful with Ahlul Bayt. It's just like what Nabiullah Swala did to his camel. هذه ناقة الله لكم آية فذروها تأكل في أرض الله ولا تمسوها بسوء فيأخذكم عذاب قريب. So it's the same warning, similar warning that the Holy Prophet was issuing to his companions to be careful with his Ahlul Bayt. So it tells us that Hadith Sakalain, the import of Hadith Sakalain tells us that it tells us the importance of following the Holy Quran and Ahlul Bayt. That is number 1. And then number 2, it emphasizes the infallibility of Ahlul Bayt, as Quran chapter 33 indicates, Innama yuridullah till the end. And then thirdly, it shows that the leadership of Ahlul Bayt is eternal, is forever, till the judgment, till the day of resurrection. And then as Prophet Muhammad is reported to have categorically mentioned the 12 Imams, right from Imam Ali till Imam al-Mahdi, and then for every discipline that has to do with religion is concentrated in Ahlul Bayt. Any discipline at all that a human being can talk of is with Ahlul Bayt, Salamullahi alayhim. So fellowship is attributed to the enlightened. To follow a religious figure, the person must be what? Enlightened. And when we are talking about enlightenment, Ahlul Bayt is second to none, as testified by authentic traditions and sources. So their knowledge is from Ilmul Ladunni, that is acquired knowledge, knowledge that is acquired through divine, knowledge that is acquired through Almighty Allah and not through materialistic means. And no one interprets the Holy Quran in precision except the Ahlul Bayt, Salamullahi alayhi. So the Holy Prophet established the mourning of Imam Hussein in Muharram and can be found in Sunni authentic sources. So what we are doing here can be gotten from authentic sources established by the Holy Prophet Muhammad. So relative to the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, Salama is reported to have narrated vividly what was about to befall Imam Hussein, as she mentioned that one day the Holy Prophet was trying to hide something in his hand while shedding bitter tears. So she inquired why the Holy Prophet was shedding bitter tears, and the Holy Prophet said, the angel just appeared to me and revealed to me that my son Imam Hussein would be brutally martyred in the land of Karbala. And this time around he came with the soil of that particular land in which Imam Hussein was to be martyred. So the Holy Prophet gave Salma, his wife, a son to keep the son. The day it turns red, then she should know that Imam Hussein is martyred. And she kept the sun until 61 after Hijrah, when the sun turned red and she realized that Imam Hussein was martyred, and she wept. So this clearly tells us that the definition of Sunnah means what the Holy Prophet said with his mouth, what he did by action, and his tacit approval. What they did in front of the Holy Prophet and he kept silent, that is the tacit approval of the Holy Prophet. And regarding the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, the Holy Prophet shed bitter tears, not only tears but bitter tears, So what we are here to relay the accounts of Karbala leading to the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, and then share a lesson. A mourning is a clear, a sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So at a point, Islam lost its worth. Islam was being relegated to the background. Islam became something different. And Imam Hussein, as a responsible adult, rose to the rescue of the religion of Islam, or the religion of his grandfather. And then a whole lot of lessons can be learned or can be taken from the issue of Imam Hussein and the event of Karbala. You can take the issue of jihad, you can take the issue of ethics and morality in jihad, you can take the issue of resistance, you can take the issue of prophecy, a whole lot of issues. Any scholar at all can look at the martyrdom of Imam Hussein and the revolution of Karbala and take or pick a particular lesson to digest. So fast forward, he went further to mention a verse of the Holy Quran, وَأَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَمُهَيْمِنًا عَلَيْهِ فَاحْكُم بَيْنَهُم till the end. And then the import of this particular verse tells us that the Holy Quran says, وَمُهَيْمِنًا عَلَيْهِ. That means all the messengers that have been given book or law, like Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Dawood, Prophet Musa, Prophet Isa, Prophet Muhammad, who was given the Holy Quran, each and every book is confirming, is coming to attest the previous book. So Yazid imagined to distort the Holy Quran and to relegate the religion of Islam to the background means all what the messengers of Allah have come to relay has been rendered redundant, has been rendered useless. So it is on the basis of protecting all these laws that Imam Hussein rose to the defense of the religion of Islam. So every message, yes. So all the people being raised in the history of Islam, you know, before Almighty Allah enlightened us to know the correct path of Ahlul Bayt, you know, we used to hear that Umar was one of the brave companions of the Holy Prophet who protected Islam. But when you look at authentic sources, you cannot trace the veracity or the validity or the credibility of these accounts. But when you look at authentic accounts, you can find out that Imam Ali, with his sword, with his blood, with his bone, with his flesh, with his courage, defended Islam right from the Battle of Badr, the Battle of Uhud, the Battle of Khandaq till the end. And it is clear, written in literature. So it tells you that it is the tradition of the Ahlul Bayt to keep defending the religion of Islam as their grandfather, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, did. And then he went further to mention that every messenger and prophet of Allah or reformer has been attached with an evil person, an antagonist. Habil, the two sons of Adam, Habil antagonist was Kabil. Ibrahim's antagonist was Namrud. Musa's antagonist was Fir'aun. Prophet Muhammad's antagonist was Abu Sufyan. Imam Ali's antagonist was Muawiyah. Yazid's antagonist was who? Imam Hussein's antagonist was who? Yazid. So every messenger and prophet of Allah and a reformer is attached with a particular evil person, an immoral person, or a bloodletting person to contend with. So Imam Hussein has come to also contend with the Satan of his regime, the Satan of his era, and that is Yazid. So the caveat that we need to present here is that we are not castigating any companion of the Holy Prophet, but we are relaying what they did, because there are accounts, historical accounts, and these historical accounts have been documented for who? For generations yet unborn to come and read and take lessons. And surprisingly, all these accounts being written were not Shiites, but what? Sunnis. And they didn't document all these accounts for people to come and look at it and then keep silent, but to relay for generations yet unborn too. And then he went further to mention the deal that Imam Hassan struck with Muawiyah. He emphasized that even if the Holy Prophet were to be alive, or even Imam Hussein who rebelled against Yazid, if these people were to be alive, they would have adopted the same methodology adopted by Imam Hassan. They would have constructed a deal, a peace deal with Muawiyah based on the nature of the Islamic environment at that particular time. The environment at that particular time precipitated that a deal should be constructed in order to safeguard the religion of Islam. So safeguarding the religion of Islam is done in many dimensions through a peace deal, as the Holy Prophet did in Sulh Hudaybiyah. But when it reached to Imam Hussein, the only doable alternative is to rebel against Yazid, and that is what we just seen Abu Abdullah Hussein did. So in conclusion, he went further to mention that Yazid Hussein is a descendant of the Holy Prophet Muhammad without any question, who rebelled against the infidel of Islam, Yazid. And then Yazid was an immoral person who used to rear dogs and then monkeys. And he used to even attach each and every dog and monkey with a human servant to serve a monkey or serve a dog. And then he used to feed those dogs with what? With golden cups. And he himself used to drink with those golden cups. And then he committed incest. You know incest? That is somebody who is having sexual intercourse with his relative, either a sister or a lady with her sister or daughter or whatever. That is incest. So imagine such a person becoming the leader of Islam. We don't care about the personality of Yazid. Yazid could have done worse than that. But the reason why we are concerned is that Yazid in that particular position was trying to exemplify the Holy Prophet to become the Caliph of the Holy Prophet. That is why Imam Hussein rebelled, and that is why we are also showing our concern. And then last but not the least, Yazid, when he killed Imam Hussein, beautifully recited a poem. And at the end of the poem, he said, he was evoking the spirit of his ancestors. You know, his ancestors were killed by Imam Ali in the battle of Badr, Uhud, Khandak, and what have you. So this day, he was evoking the spirit of his ancestors to come and witness what the particular revenge he has exacted against the family of the Holy Prophet. So Yazid, in sum, viewed the issue of religion to be like a kingdom or secular leadership. The leadership of the Holy Prophet, Imam Ali, the divine leadership was just like a kingdom or secular leadership. So that was how Yazid viewed. That is why at the end of the poem he mentioned that upon all what he did, revelation has not come, no wahi has come, and no news has come. He was even questioning the credibility of wahi, that is the Holy Quran. And then finally, he also mentioned the issue of Waqi'atul Arra. Waqi'atul Arra is one of the saddest incidents that took place in the history of Islam. The people of Medina realized that, they came to the realization that enough is enough. We can no longer wait to see Yazid lead the Islamic community. So they sent one of the individuals in Medina to travel to Syria to witness whether the rumor they are hearing about Yazid is true. So this particular individual, Abdullah ibn Hanzala Ghasilul Malaika, went to Syria, and then he returned to give a report. And then he said, I went to Syria, what I saw was so bad to an extent that if I remain in Syria, the punishment of Allah will descend upon me. I saw Yazid drinking wine, committing incest, and then playing with monkeys. So these people decided to rebel. They were preparing to rebel against Yazid, and then Yazid got the news and then rushed to Medina. He plundered Medina for 3 days, tied the donkeys against the Rawdah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, and then they defecated and urinated against the Rawdah. And then he killed a whole lot of companions of the Holy Prophet. And at the same time, he even desecrated the Kaaba, and then allowed his people to subject the women to see all kinds of rape. And then many women even gave birth to these bastards. And you know the Holy Prophet said, Inna Madinata Haram, man ahdasa fiha hadasan fa'alayhi la'natullahi wal malaikatu wal nasi ajma'in. Medina is sacred. Anyone who desecrates the sanctity of Medina, may the curse of Almighty Allah and His angels and the entire mankind be upon that person. So you can see that it was the Holy Prophet himself who cursed Yazid. So in all, Imam Hussein rebelled against the Satan of his time to protect the dignity of the religion of Islam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.